What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
It is Thursday.
Thursday.
And that means it's actually time for us to stay in the frame. First of all, it's time for us to have another episode of Inside the Relationship. Listen, we have. I feel like we got some good things to talk about in this episode. So make sure if you're watching now or if you're watching the replay, we ask that you would share this. We're going to ask again after we play the intro, but we ask that you would share this and just get ready for a good episode. We're going to have some good dialogue, and I think that's it. You know what? Let's get into it. All right, so buckle up, get ready for another episode of Inside the Relationship. Let's go.
Let's go.
You're watching Inside the Relationship with Denise and Ollie.
So sit back, relax, and let's talk about all things relationships. Hey.
What's going on?
It's Thursday, and it's time for another episode of Inside the Relationship. Thank you for joining us. If you are watching this now, or if you're watching the replay, we just ask one simple thing, and that is you hit the share button wherever you're watching us right now. If you would just do us that favor, that's it. Hit the share button, share it with your audience, share it on your timeline, share it with your network. We would be appreciative of that. I'm Oliver.
I'm Denise.
If you haven't met us, we are authors, speakers, and coaches passionate about seeing relationships thrive. And we do all these different things to share with you, to give you advice, to spark conversation. Speaking of sparking conversation, we do another show on Saturday nights. It's called Have a Conversation After Dark.
Great show.
We would love for you to check us out.
Great show.
It is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday nights. There are conversations about everything and anything.
It's after dark for a reason.
It is after dark for a reason. And so if you want some good conversation, you want some laughs, and you want some stuff that could be great conversation starters for you to spark conversation between you and your mate, that's the show that we want you to be a part of. All right. Listen, let's get into the show. We have a media mixdown that is dealing with money. If you saw the thumbnail for the show, and if you did not see the thumbnail for the show, let me show that to you right now.
Share DNA. What did it say?
Say it again.
If you share DNA. I forgot the rest of it.
You should share money.
You should share money. I didn't.
Because we wouldn't be able to hear you if I had kept it up. Because I had to take us out because it was a background. I didn't put it as an overlay. So, yeah, if you share DNA,
you should share money.
Now, there's a question mark after that because we want to know what you think. And the question on the table is, do you feel like it's what's mine is yours mentality? Do you feel like that's something that's good for your marriage?
What does if you share DNA mean, though?
So if you share DNA...
does it mean if you have kids?
No. So I'm going to play the video that is the backdrop for the media mixdown, and then you'll understand why that was the phrase that I chose.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and play that right now. Oh, hold on. It would help if we could hear it. Let's see. Why cannot we hear it?
Let's play the video.
Yeah, see, that's the wonderful thing about live, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do. So let's stop sharing for a second.
And go back in and share it again.
We're going to go back.
I already have an opinion about this, but I'm not going to share it yet. I'm going to wait until if we can get the video going. If not, we'll just talk about it. No big deal.
Yeah, if we can't, we'll just.
I think we talked about this before, and yeah, I already have an opinion about it.
Okay, all right. Let's see if the video plays this time. If not, we'll talk about it. What am I missing here? Why can't we? Oh.
John,
that's what I'm missing. All right, here we go.
They've just both agreed. Yeah, we don't.
Would help if I unmuted the video.
that a couple has to electronically transfer money to and from each other. Like, I talk to couples all the time, John, that maybe they've just both agreed, yeah, we don't want to share our money. We like doing our own thing. And they're Venmoing each other for rent and Venmoing each other because they went out to a nice dinner and he paid and now I have to pay my half. That right there, nothing strikes me as more absurd than me laying in the bed with my husband at night and rolling over and say, hey, did you remember to Venmo me that $30 you owe me?
Yeah, I did $18. We went to Arby's yesterday. $18, remember?
I mean, nothing puts just the kibosh on romanticism quicker than saying, hey, you owe me $30 for my roast beef sandwich.
I'm trying to imagine laying in bed at night, the shades are drawn, and I look over and I'm expecting like, this might be the night. And my wife says, hey, I need $48 for groceries. Can you just Venmo me real quick?
And then you say, yeah, but you already owe me $14 from last week.
Wait, hold on. We went to Chick-fil-A 3 weeks ago and you owe me $6.95. And we out.
Light switch on.
We out.
Putting on Golden Girls.
Share your accounts. If you're going to share your DNA, share your accounts.
If you're going to share your DNA, DNA,
you should share your accounts. And he's talking about basically if you're going to be sleeping with each other, you know, if you're going to share that, you should share your accounts. All right. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is, this is just my opinion. I honestly don't think that there is a right or wrong. I honestly don't.
Okay.
To me, that scenario is ridiculous. I'm not doing
the whole
that.
Venmo thing.
I'm not Venmoing you money.
Yeah, Cash App. Like we go out for date night and you be like, hey, listen, Cash App me $50 real quick.
I'm not doing that. You be waiting for that $50. Listen, that is ridiculous to me. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So I agree with you. There is no right or wrong.
There is no right or wrong because if that's what you've agreed to do in your relationship, hey, have at it.
Now, here's where it gets dicey for me, though, because, hey, listen, if you want to have separate accounts, you want to have a fun account where you just, you know, this is my account. I'm going to do my hair, nails, out of this account. I'm going to go play golf, whatever. That's fine. Here's where it gets dicey for me. Where it gets dicey for me is where you have the couples who are like, this is my money and this is their money.
Right.
Or where it's like, you're hiding money from people. Like I'm hiding money from you. Like I got this fund that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
That's where I think it gets a little dicey. I'm not with the whole Venmo thing either. If we going out to dinner, you know, the dinner's going to be paid for.
Yeah.
Just period.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever that means, right?
Exactly.
Even if you have a separate account that you take a dinner budget from.
Right.
You know, it's not going to be that kind of thing. So I would love to hear from those of you who might be watching now or watching the replay. What is your take on that? Are you a joint account person? Are you a separate account person? Are you a Venmo person? Like the video. Are you the person who's like, hey, listen, I'm about to go get some groceries and I know there's these pizzas that you like. So cash at me $20 and I'll get those pizzas.
Yeah.
Like, are you that person? And we don't have nothing bad to say about you if you are. That's just not us.
That's just not us. And I think though that if that is what if that's what people are doing, the whole Venmo thing, then they agree with the whole separate accounts.
Yeah.
This is my money. This is your money.
Right. And not only just agree with the separate accounts, but like you not privy to none of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're trying to become one, you should be trying to become one in every area.
And I think that's a good point, because I think that when people hear the phrase become one, they think spiritually.
Yeah.
Often they think spiritually and nothing else. But to me, to us in marriage, becoming one is across the board.
Yeah. We're trying to be a team.
We're trying to be a team.
So I mean,
people would argue, hey, we can be a team and have separate accounts.
You can be a team and have separate accounts. But when it's time for the team to do stuff, you got to designate how the team is going to do stuff. Let me give you phenomenal example of
Mhm.
this. The team concept as it relates to money, right? Let's say me and 4 other guys are on a basketball team.
Mhm.
We all go out on the court. We all each have a basketball. We're all shooting around. Somebody's dunking. Somebody's doing this. Somebody's doing that. When it's game time, there ain't 5 basketballs out there.
Correct. That's right.
There ain't. That would be ridiculous.
That's
We would be
right.
out there looking crazy.
That's a good point.
At some point, we got to be like, hey, it's game time. Boom. What ball we using? That one.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the concept that probably should be taken
Yeah.
as it relates to money. So even if you got these separate accounts, you got the account for the vacation, you got the account for the Christmas gifts, you got the account for this, you got the account for the hair, you got the account for the, guys trip or whatever. That's fine. But as a team, when the team's about to do something, then you need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
You need to have a plan for what the team is doing.
I
So
agree. And then you have the couples where, like you said, the spouse will be like, hair and nails, I need my money set aside for that. I feel like I can just say, I'm about to go get my nails done. I'm about to go get my hair done. I'm about to go to a concert or whatever.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
It's I hate to use the word easy because I don't want to minimize anybody's thought process on this, but that's the only word I can think of. It's easy for us. I think from jump, that's how we started.
That's how we started.
Everything went into a pot and we just had conversation. Hey, I got a hair appointment on XYZ day. It's going to be XYZ. All right, cool. We got this bill to pay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We about to do this. Cool. We going out for date night. Like all of it comes out of that same bucket, right? Which makes us now have to be on the same page around how that bucket is divvied up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, you got to be on the same page.
The only time I can see an advantage to, well, it's not even separate accounts, so never mind what I was about to say. But for us to have additional accounts, for example, this account is for bills and expenses or whatever, but yet and still we both have access to it.
I was just about to say, in full transparency, we do have more than one account.
Yes, but we both have access to all of them.
It's all of the accounts are our accounts.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We have access to all of them.
Right.
And I don't, never mind.
No. Say it.
I was just going to say, I don't understand how that's not how it is, but that's unfair for me to say that. So,
well, I mean,
to each his own.
Yeah,
what works in one relationship doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in another, or it could work, but you'd prefer to do it a different way. And so I respect that.
Listen, I get that. And I mean, that's a valid thought process because of how we do it. Right.
Yeah.
So our point of reference is us.
So
it's kind of difficult, to fathom something else.
Yeah.
I will say this though, no matter what you choose to do, because that's not what we're trying to do here is get you to choose something. No matter what you choose to do, at the end of the day, when it's time for the team to operate as a team, you need to have a plan.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying.
If you're the Venmo person, hey, more power to you.
Have at it.
You know what I'm saying? Do you? But the team should have a plan at some point. Right. And the danger of not having a plan is what they were talking about, where they're like, oh, well, I'm going to give you this $48, but you still owe me $14 for something else. You start, the danger is you're getting that tit for tat. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You ain't pulling your weight. It can go real left if you don't have a plan.
It could.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the media mix down. If you happen to miss that, you're going to have to go back and catch the video that we played for the media mix down. But essentially it's asking the question, is the what's mine is yours concept, is that something that you subscribe to in your marriage? And if not, that's cool. We would love to hear your opinion about that in the comments, whether you're watching now or watching the replay. If you have a media mix down,
send it to us.
Email it to us. You can email it.
We'll what do they say? We'll chop it up.
Yeah, we'll chop it up over that. So you can either email it to us, the email that's on your screen right now, or wherever you're watching this, you can shoot it over to us in direct message. All right. So we would love to get those ideas. Matter of fact, I love, like, Parks has been sending me stuff.
Yes. We got to hit one of those.
B has been sending me stuff. So we got a couple things in the can. So if you have some stuff you'd like for us to check out, please shoot it our way, and we would be glad to chop it up for the media mixdown. All right. So, with no further ado, listen. I said in the description we had an interesting question of the week this week. So, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's tackle this question of the week. Here we go. Here's a question of the week.
Here it is. Is it possible to recover from infidelity when my spouse refuses to admit they did anything wrong? I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get Elizanne's comment real quick. Shout out to Elizanne.
Hey,
Elizanne is always
Elizanne.
in the comments. Appreciate you. She said it should
be that what it should
be that way. I think
it should be that way. However, some people don't subscribe to yours is mine.
Yes, that's
Correct.
true. And that's kind of where it gets dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. So to separate this and what Elizanne is referring to is the media mixdown. We were talking about the money thing. The separate account thing is like, don't let anybody knock you for what you choose to do.
Right.
If what you choose to do in terms of how you divvy that up, if that works for you, that's fine. But that's the danger is that when you start saying, okay, this is mine, that's yours, and there's no team concept, there's no game plan that allows the team to operate in that way, it can open the door for things to go left. Yeah. So thank you for that comment, Elizanne. So question of the week: Is it possible
to recover from infidelity when my spouse refuses to admit that they did anything wrong? I would say yes, because I think that in order for me to be able to recover from it, I at least need you to acknowledge it first.
Yeah, but isn't that the same as admitting?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I need you to acknowledge or admit it. Otherwise, how am I going to recover from it? Am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, but you said the answer to the question, you said yes.
Oh, I mean, no. It's
okay.
I'm thinking it's impossible. I'm sorry. Okay. It is not possible to recover from infidelity when my spouse refuses to admit that they did anything wrong. Gotcha. I don't think that it's possible, because I need for you to acknowledge what you did. So another question is, are they refusing to admit that they did anything wrong? Are they saying they didn't do anything wrong? There was something happening, but it wasn't what you thought? Or are they saying, hey, nothing happened at all, so what is there for you to get over?
And that's a good question.
You know what I mean?
And we don't have, my mic is doing something crazy now. We don't have that context.
Yeah.
So,
but let's just go with this. The spouse did commit infidelity, but they're not admitting to it.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Just say that. And if that's the case, then I would say, no, it's not possible for me to recover from it. Because let's just say you were unfaithful, but now you're not. That doesn't mean just because now nothing is happening that you should not acknowledge what you did.
Right.
Because how is that going to help me recover from it?
I agree.
Yeah, no.
I agree. And here's the thing. There are those of you who are familiar with the Prepare Enrich. I'm pulling it up right now. If you are familiar with the Prepare Enrich model as it relates to forgiveness, right? There are 6 steps to seeking forgiveness. There are 6 steps to granting forgiveness.
Yeah.
Right. And one of those is what you're talking about, is acknowledging. Right.
Yes.
And in order to acknowledge something, you're going to have to admit that, okay, this is what happened.
Because that's what it is.
And I acknowledged what it did to you. Right. And that's the only way you're going to get from conflict to resolution to reconciliation to restoration.
Yeah.
Is by, you can't get that stalls the process.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be like, nah, I don't have nothing to say. I ain't
Yeah,
doing.
I
I didn't
agree.
do it. Come on, man. We're not gonna get there. So, is it possible to recover from infidelity when your spouse refuses to admit they did anything wrong? Listen,
Mm,
it's possible, but it's a hard road
it's a hard road.
because at some point that means what you're asking the person to do is go through that process of forgiveness, reconciliation, and restoration by
By
themselves.
themselves, and it's hard to do that. It is possible,
Right.
actually. Yeah, it could, because you hear often about people. Oh, I've forgiven them. I've moved on,
hmm
and the other person may not even have any knowledge
hmm
of the whatever the offense was.
Right.
So I guess in that sense,
Yeah.
it is possible. But yes, that's a hard
It's a hard road. It's a hard road. Shout out to Sam. We
Hey,
got the whole team
Sam.
in the comments today.
Yes.
When you commit an act of infidelity, you must own up to it and admit
that
you
you
were
are
wrong.
wrong. Absolutely. I
It,
agree.
it certainly helps.
It
It
does
certainly
help.
helps to do that if you're talking about recovering, right?
Mhm.
Elizanne said it is possible.
It is possible. It takes a very long time, and you have to work on yourself.
That's just what we were just saying.
Yep, to
Mhm.
the point of loving yourself way more than your spouse, and forgive them beyond where they can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and that listen, I'm not saying that's impossible, but that takes a lot of work. And
Yeah.
the danger is if the work is not done properly, that one day you wake up dipped in resentment.
Resentful. That's what I was gonna
And
say.
now you have added a whole nother layer to that process.
Mhm.
Because once resentment is like being in a hole.
Mhm.
And that's a tough hole to climb out of.
It is.
Just to get to the ground level so that you can start building.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Good
the
point.
crazy thing about resentment.
Sorry.
You
Yeah.
can't even begin to build because you ain't even at ground surface level yet.
Mhm.
You trying to dig out of the hole of resentment. And
Mhm.
so is it possible to recover? I would tell this person, yes, it is possible. It will take some significant work on your part to really walk out the forgiveness piece in a way that is healing for you, but
Yeah.
also covers their iniquity
Wow.
without them being accountable.
Wow.
And that's gonna be tough. And you got to listen. We're real, so you got to ask yourself, do you even want to do that?
Mhm. Mhm.
And the answer might be no.
The answer might be no.
The answer-
Understandable.
and the answer might be yes. Right. Now that being said, the process, there's more continuity to the process if the person would acknowledge in a minute.
Mhm.
If the person would acknowledge in a minute.
Mhm.
Samuel said resentment is
Like
like
a
a very
very potent
it is.
poison.
It is.
Yep.
Once you cross over into the realm of resentment,
Mhm.
you're doing significant work just to get back to zero
Yeah. Yeah.
before you can even start to see something on the positive end.
Yeah.
The question is,
Do
do they want to recover? Right.
Yeah.
That is the question. Do you want to recover?
Mhm.
So hopefully that gives you something to think about. I know we answered both yes and no, so that could be confusing. We get that. But we want it to be holistic in our approach to give you both sides of the coin. It would be helpful if they would admit that they did something wrong, that they wronged you in some way. But if they don't, and you want to, and you see yourself having a future with this person,
Mhm.
then that's going to require some significant work if you're going to try to do that in a one-sided kind of way.
Yeah.
Hopefully, prayerfully, if that's the way you have to go, then what you're doing will win them over, like it says in First Peter, right? Because that's
keeping
possible as
coals.
well, right?
Yeah.
So that's a decision at the end of the day that you have to make. Are you willing to move forward if acknowledgement doesn't happen? And if you're not, you're not.
You're not. Yeah.
That's the question of the week, ladies and gentlemen. And just like the media mixdown, if you have a question that you would like our 2 cents on, you can DM that question to us, or you can email that question to the email that is on your screen, and we will take a
We'll
stab
give it
at
our
it.
best shot.
We'll take a stab at it. So that's the question of the week. Listen, we're moving on. We're we're moving and shaking in this show right now. And so we've done the media mix down. We've done the question of the week. And so now it's time to get into the Marriage Minute. So
what's the Marriage Minute, sir?
Marriage Minute today, there's a question in the show description. And the question is, what is marriage maintenance?
Mm.
Then it's followed up by a question that says, is it important?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's followed up by a question that says, if it is important, what does marriage maintenance look like, essentially? Right? So we're going to talk a little bit about marriage maintenance. Sam said one side of the coin will never govern
your total understanding.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And folk who know me know that I'm always going to give, quite often, if not always, I'm going to give both sides of the coin. I do that with the men that I coach, especially the men that I coach individually. They're always going to get two sides. You know, and what that does is help you that gives you some information that you can leverage to make an educated decision. A decision that's going to be in your best interest at the end of the day. Yeah. So,
and it leaves us unbiased.
It leaves us unbiased.
We just lay it all out for you. You get to choose.
Right. Yeah. So marriage maintenance. Was on my mind, and I'll start it this way. Everything that's important to us, it requires us. We have a responsibility, and it requires us to maintain.
Yes, correct.
If your health is important to you, there's certain things you got to maintain. Certain things you got to do. If your car is important to you, certain things you got to do, right? You're going to do oil changes. You're going to do whatever. Health, you're going to eat right. You're going to exercise. You name it, whatever it is. Personal possessions you have, whatever it is. If it's important to you, there's some things that you're going to do
to maintain,
to ensure that they're maintained. Yeah. Right? Marriage is no different. If marriage is important to you, there are some things that you should be doing. They're not optional. If you want your car to last, it is not optional for you to get an oil change. Right? Now, I don't have an EV, so I can't speak to that too much. Like, what are the things that are not optional on an EV? But I'm talking about our car. It's not optional.
Yeah.
We can't be like, nah, I don't feel like getting an oil change, so I ain't gonna get it no more. Okay. See how long we're gonna be driving that car.
Yeah.
Before we're like, it's on bricks in the driveway because it can't go nowhere. The same thing in your marriage. If you're talking about longevity, if you're talking about trying to become one, if you're talking about sexual fulfillment, if you're talking about building intimacy holistically, if you're talking about being able to communicate on an extraordinary level, and the list goes on and on and on and on, you have to. It's not optional. Have to do some things.
You have to. And the thing that I think of too is that, and I don't know, sometimes you don't agree with this statement, but maybe you do by now. But marriage is work. Marriage is work. And so to me, I'm going to maintain it with all the tools that I can. And it just helps me to be more efficient in my role as a wife. So whatever I can get to help me maintain, I'm going to do that, because it's difficult work to just be like, no maintenance here. I'm just going to tough it out and figure it out and do it.
Right.
You know, do what I got to do and keep my head down and just keep pushing. No, there's tools out there to help you maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. Elizanne said, love this. Said exactly. Listen, here's the thing. Maintenance actually creates an easier road for you.
Yes.
In your marriage.
Yes.
So let's go back to the car, for example. The car runs beautifully when you are doing everything that needs to be done. Oil is changed. You got good tires on there. You got, you know what I'm saying? You putting the right gas in there, right octane level of gas. You keeping it clean. Like it just, you feel good when you get in it. It runs smooth.
It's going to take you far.
Now, let's not do all of those things. You end up actually spending more in the long run.
Yep.
Because God forbid the tires blow. Now you got an issue. God forbid, and let's go, I'm starting from the smaller things, right? God forbid anything happen with the transmission or the engine lock up or anything like that. Now you forced to do more
Mhm.
to recover just to get back to where you were.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, what baffles me, is that we don't do this in marriage.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't do this
We
in marriage.
often don't.
So what does maintenance look like in marriage?
Maintenance looks like going to conferences,
Okay.
watching these shows,
Wow. There you go.
subscribing for our coaching, registering for that, going to conferences. A lot of this stuff, guys, does not cost anything. And I'm not saying that to maintain your, sometimes you got to invest a little bit more.
I was going to go there next, but since you brought it up, go ahead.
Sometimes you have to invest a little bit more to dig a little deeper
Mm-hmm.
in the maintenance of your marriage. Just like you were saying with the car, sometimes you can put in some cars the regular gas.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to invest and put in premium gas.
Got to do a little bit more.
And it will just help your car run a little bit better. Sometimes when you invest in your relationship by going to a conference that costs a little bit more money, you get deeper information.
Yeah.
You get more in-depth information, and it really does help.
I'll say this. Maintenance very seldom requires no investment.
Seldom. Yeah.
Very seldom. And listen, I'll use myself as an example. A perk of purchasing the car that I purchased from where I purchased it was free oil changes for the life of the car.
Mm-hmm.
That was a perk of me purchasing the car.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to pay for an oil change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what's interesting, right? I can't even rest on that laurel
Mm-hmm.
because there are times because I have to get the oil change done at a certain place.
Right.
There are times where I try to schedule the oil change and I can't get in there for nothing.
They're booked. Yeah.
I can't even pay them to slip me in.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Go without an oil change?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm going to cough up the money and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait the 3 weeks or 4 weeks or wherever they like, man, we can't get you in until next month.
Right.
Nah, bro, I need an oil change tomorrow.
Yeah.
That means I'm going to have to go pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So very seldom is an investment, is maintenance going to require no investment.
And I would say this too, as far as the investment goes, there is maintenance that you can do. Like I said, watching this show, but I say that a couple times a year, you should invest in going deeper. It's not that you have to invest a whole lot all the time to maintain, but it does help to invest a couple times a year.
Yeah, it does. Now, I know for some that are watching this, it may sound like we're plugging ourselves. We are. How about that? I am. Listen, here's a no cost investment in your marriage for maintenance. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, there are 460 something, 70 something, I think, videos on there.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, and they tell coaches not to make guarantees. I promise you that if you were to even watch 40% of those videos and actually implement what you heard, you would see a change in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we'll talk about some other maintenance things that do require investment. We'll get these comments. Elizanne said doing
above that.
Okay, I'll go back.
Doing the homework after counseling session.
Crucial.
Yeah.
Crucial.
Yes.
Crucial.
We update our education to keep our job.
I was just about to say that.
But we take our marriage for granted.
I was just about to say that.
Continuing education.
Yep. Continuing education credits. You have these in-service times. You have these all-hands meetings. You have all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That we do this in our regular life all the time. Wow. And we very seldom do it in our marriage.
Yeah.
Right. Elizanne also said no work, no rewards. Sam said getting information and not acting on it is as bad as not getting
the information.
1,000%.
It's the same. Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
This is a great plug for yourself because it works. Thank you. We appreciate you, family. Thank you both, Elizanne and Sam. Nothing is wrong with plugging yourself. I love it.
Thank you.
Listen, thank you. Appreciate that.
We love you guys.
And there are some ways. There are YouTube videos. There are other great folk that we follow
Mhm.
on social media who are consistently giving out free gems, if you will, right? So there are ways to do that. Now, other ways you can do that is to, like you said, go to conferences, go to retreats.
Yeah.
If you see a retreat, listen, and it doesn't, just like I don't go get an oil change because something's wrong with my car.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything wrong.
Nothing
I really
has to be wrong.
Nothing has. That's maintenance.
Maintenance.
That's maintenance. There's also recovery.
Right.
That's different. I mean, the same but different. And then there's maintenance. It's so that you have the tools to help to, what's the word? Mitigate anything being wrong or going wrong. That's what maintenance is.
That's what it's all about. I'm not going to get an oil change because something's wrong with my car. I'm going to get an oil change to ensure that things don't go wrong with my car.
Right.
So if your finances allow and you see a retreat come up, get in there. Your finances allow and you see a conference coming to your city, your town, your area, your church, get in it.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people are like, oh, seen one retreat, you've seen them all. And I mean, some aspects of it may be the same, but I think we need to stop looking at it that way and start looking at it like, hey, it doesn't hurt to go through to another retreat. It doesn't hurt to go to another conference.
Yeah, that's a cop-out answer. That's a cop-out answer. I'm just gonna say that. You know me, I'm gonna speak my mind. That's a cop-out. I put the exact same oil in my car every oil change. At no point have I been like, man, I don't like this oil, man. Where's the pink oil at? No, I put the oil in that's supposed to be in there. Now, every once in a while, I might switch up the brand. If I have to pay for it myself, I may get a different brand, but it's still oil. So you may go to a conference, and the conference, we're the people doing the conference. You may go to another conference, it's somebody else doing the conference. And you may hear communication stuff from us. You may hear communication stuff from them. You still need it.
Still need it.
Period.
And the thing with that too is you may hear the same topics from different people, but I think different people or different couples have different delivery styles.
Yeah.
And so it's okay to hear it again.
Yeah. So you got to invest. Now here's another no cost maintenance tool. If you are a church person and your church has a marriage ministry, you probably need to be there.
Hopefully they're meeting regularly.
Now, if your church does not have a marriage ministry, then it might be a good idea to start one. And if you need some help to start the marriage ministry, we can help. We consult in that area. So if you need some help to start the marriage ministry, you can do that.
Different perspectives. Absolutely.
Different perspectives. Indeed. Different perspectives. Sometimes it's not even different perspectives. Sometimes it's just a reminder.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I love about retreats? Even if I'm going to get the same information, a retreat is a time for us to reconnect.
It sure is.
I absolutely love going to stuff for the weekend. You know why? Can I just be honest? This might be embarrassing to her, but can I just be honest for a second?
No, don't.
I love going to retreats because it's going to take us to a hotel, which is a different environment.
No, that's true.
The activities in that hotel are going to be so incredible. See, I did it. I was nice. I did it the nice way. I could have said exactly what I was thinking. But it's a great opportunity for us to reconnect.
It does help us as well.
So even if we're going to get information that we've heard before, we're still going to have a great time. We're going to probably eat some good food somewhere in a nice restaurant. We're going to reconnect. We're going to have fun in the hotel. It's going to be a good time. So either way, you come in, it's a win. Either way, it's a win.
I agree.
Elizanne says so true. So listen, that's our media mix down for today. I mean, I went all the way back to the beginning of the show. That's our marriage minute for today. You got to invest
in your marriage.
First of all, you got to determine whether your marriage is even important to you. Because the moment my car never becomes the moment my car is no longer important to me, I'm either going to stop taking care of it or I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
So you got to determine whether your marriage is even important to you. And if the answer is yes, just know that you have to invest in maintenance.
Yeah.
That is the marriage minute.
That's the marriage minute.
If you want some
That's a big one.
ideas on how you can invest in maintenance, feel free to contact us. We have some ways that you can invest in maintenance. We can point you to other individuals who have some ways where you can invest in maintenance as well. Elizanne
Good
said we
points.
need a t-shirt with that. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
All right. That's a good idea, Elizanne. I have some t-shirt ideas. In addition to the t-shirts we have on right now, which are ours. We know we never promote these t-shirts, but these are our t-shirts as well. Just in case, for those of you who don't know us or have never seen us before, we're wearing our own merch right now. But yes, that is a good t-shirt. So that is the marriage minute. Listen, start doing the maintenance, folks. It can only help.
It can only help. Never is it not helpful.
Never is it not helpful.
Never is it not helpful.
I've never gotten an oil change and was like, man, that destroyed the car.
Yeah, man. Wish I didn't do that.
Right. You know what I mean? Now.
Well,
if you get the wrong oil,
yeah.
or and which is this is a good point. If you get the wrong oil or the wrong person works on your car, then yes, you might be in danger, which is a good lesson because you probably need to be careful what you're investing in.
Yeah. Now here's what I was thinking when
I didn't think about that until you just
paused.
said that.
Yeah, this is why I paused, is because I said never is it not helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be a couple that had an experience that we experienced when we went to the marriage conference years ago. And we kind of had a disagreement.
We did. Yeah.
We discovered, or I discovered some things, and it was, you know, kind of heartbreaking to what I discovered. And so, I would say even though in the moment I would be like, well, this is not helpful. We had a conversation about that. We had a deep discussion about it. We aired everything out, and we would not have had the level of intimacy that situation required.
I agree.
And so it was helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the other side of that, though, what I'm talking about is you got to be careful who you're getting information from.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I follow a ton of people for a reason. I want to hear all the perspectives that are out there because I want to stay, in tune with what's happening out there. Right. There are some folk that if you follow what they're saying, you're going to jack up your relationship. I can tell you right now. So you got to be careful what you're investing in. Right. So I wouldn't take my car to somebody who was just holding up a sign saying, hey, come in this alley. I got the right oil for you. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm gonna go where I normally go because I don't know what I'm getting here. Right. So you got to have some discernment in that way as well. But don't let that stop you from doing maintenance. Okay. Don't let that stop you from doing maintenance. Elizanne said, we need a t-shirt. Yeah, she did. I put that up. She said, let me know and I will get the first. All right. I will keep you posted. Indeed. I will keep you posted. You all need to aggressively promote your merchandise. We do.
We need a better distributor.
We need another. So that's the thing, Sam. The reason why we haven't said much about it is because we need new distribution. So right now, if I send you to the place where we would normally ship the shirts out from, it might be some issues. So, but we're working on that. And once we get it, we will aggressively promote. Indeed.
For sure.
Elizanne says, so true. So true. All right, let's get it.
She had a counselor that she had to run from.
Wow.
See?
Listen, we know.
Yeah.
We know. We know about that. We know about that. I don't see them on Amazon. They're not on Amazon. I'm working on that, Sam. I'm working on that. Amazon rejected me the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm working with this guy who seems to get it through. So we'll hopefully that will work out soon. So we'll keep you posted about that as well. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this show up by doing the last word.
Let's go.
You got last word?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm sweating today.
So the last
have been that
word
hotel
is
talk.
the hotel talk. The last word is this. Continue to flirt.
Mm,
Just continue to flirt. That's the last word.
wow, that's good.
When we were preparing for this show, it's been a pretty tough week.
It has been.
It's been a tough week for
Mhm.
us. And a tough couple weeks actually. A lot going on,
Mhm.
just a lot on our minds or whatever. And when that happens, there's just a little bit of not tension, but we can just both feel the stress that
Mhm.
each of us
Mhm.
is experiencing.
Mhm.
And so we were getting ready for the show and we were both in our bathroom upstairs and a little flirty stuff was going on, a little bit of flirty talk and stuff like that. And I feel like in that moment it kind of melted a little
Mhm.
bit of the stress because we connected.
Yeah.
It was an intimate moment, and I'm not talking about sex. It was just an intimate bonding moment.
Mhm.
And that just made me think, man, sometimes when we're in the throes of life, we forget
Mhm.
that, those little simple things like a little flirting, a little pat on the butt, a little nibble on the neck, and, saying little flirty things to each other can actually not necessarily make all of the stress disappear, but it will help the both of you to connect again
Yep.
and stay bonded. And that is really important because the enemy would love nothing more than for
And you do
us
like that.
to be separated.
Mhm.
So even if you can't get it in that moment sexually,
Mhm.
I would say just continue to flirt, continue to text your spouse, continue to just, have these little tender, little few seconds of a moment. And it will help to not necessarily, like I said, get rid of all of the stress, but the connection will be maintained.
Yeah.
Talking about maintenance,
That's
the
good.
connection will be maintained. So continue to flirt.
That's
It's
good.
more than just flirting.
It's more than just flirting. It's maintenance.
It's maintenance.
Wow. Look how that tied in.
Yeah.
That's good. That is a good last word and a
Yeah.
great way to end the show. Listen, we are passionate about seeing relationships thrive. We want to see you win, right?
Mhm.
And this show, Inside the Relationship, is about just putting some little nuggets in your hands, in your minds, in your hearts that can hopefully help you get to where you want to be
Yeah.
in your marriage. So that's the show for today. That's Inside the Relationship. We would love for you to join us on Saturday nights for nope, that's not right. That's this show. We would love for you to join us on Saturday nights for Have a Conversation After Dark.
Mhm.
That conversation, although I say every week I'm not giving advice, and we always do, but that show is strictly to get you talking.
Yeah.
We bring some crazy topics to the table just so that you can chop it up with your mate about those topics. You may learn something about each other.
Yeah.
We often say on the show, always say on the show, that conversation is a catalyst for growth, catalyst for
learning,
and a catalyst for
bonding.
So you need to talk, right? So that's one thing we would love for you to do. That Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talked about investing in your marriage.
Mhm.
There are a few ways that you can invest in your marriage. One way is books.
Yay.
Have a Conversation Journal is
Yeah.
on Amazon. That's a nominal investment in getting something that will help you with your communication.
Mhm.
We have Overcoming the Man Loss for the man who wants to be his best despite what he was taught. Men and women have read this book, and it has been impactful in their lives. Another way is to get into our 6-week group coaching experience called Make Love Better.
It's about to be October, guys.
We're about to do a cohort in October. We're only taking 8 couples. So if you want to be a part of this, you need to email us. I'm going to put the email on the screen right now. You need to email us if you want to be a part of this, and we'll send you the information. We're only taking 8 couples.
Indeed.
Tonight, matter of fact, is the last week
session
for the cohort that we were in. It has been a great time. I'm almost kind of sad. We're going into that mastermind right after we finish this show.
Last one.
The last one, but that's okay. You know, those couples have become near and dear to us, and it's been good. So if you want to be a part of that, this next cohort that's coming up, please let us know. We're stopping at 8 because we want to keep it intimate. So let us know. Elizanne said, awesome. That is
it an ebook?
So the journal is not
It's
an
not
ebook.
an ebook.
The Overcoming the Man Laws, you can do ebook with Overcoming the Man Laws. The journal's not an ebook because the journal requires you to do some writing.
Yeah.
Right. So we want people to have a physical copy. Now, that being said, I'm considering doing a PDF copy for people who want to print it out. So I may do that and have that available on Amazon as well. All right, listen, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much, all of you, for being the best part of this show. This is Inside the Relationship. We want to see your relationships thrive.
Yeah.
Listen, have conversations about the money. Choose what works for the team.
Yes.
Make sure that you are doing maintenance on your marriage and that you are continuing to flirt. All right. That's all we got for you today, man. We are looking forward to connecting with you again next week for another episode of Inside the Relationship. And until then, God bless.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.
Later.